So in this session we'll discuss about Boolean expressions, the conditional expressions in Python or any other programming language, and we'll be discussing Python programming for absolute beginners with software design. Conditional expressions, you have equal to, first one with double equal. The next one is not equal to, next one is less than, next one greater than. So we have less than or equal to or and greater than or equal to. So if you look at the expression, is true or false. 3 less than or equal to 4. So just like that you have set of expressions. So you can take 2 minutes and attempt this one. So let's discuss the answers. 3 less than or equal to 4, that is true. The output is true. 3 is less than or equal to 4. So less than or equal. The second one, 3 equal greater. So it's an error because the less than or equal operator is first you have the greater than or less than sign, next the equal, not the other way. So it's very important. The second one, the equal and greater less than sign is in the wrong order, so it's an error. The third example, 3 is greater than 4, which is false. So greater than is the opposite of less than. 4 less than or equal to 4, false. The left side must be strictly smaller than the right side. 4 less than or equal to 4, that is true. Both sides are equal. So less than or equals test for less than or equal. 3 double equals 5 minus 2, which is true. The double equal tests for equality. The last one, the 3 not equal 5 minus 1, which is true. So not equal tests for inequality. In equality, it is true that 3 is not 5 minus 1. In the previous session also we discussed about indentation. You should have proper indentation. So inside if you have A and then if letter equals double equals A, you print the block. So if these are indented, that it means it's inside the block, if block. The last print statement, which is not indented, is not inside the if block. So indentation is like keeping spaces. So exercise 1, a number a user enters is stored in a variable called number. Check if number is equal to 10. If true, display the message number is equal to 10. So draw the flowchart first. Next write the program. So you have to draw the flowchart first. So ask for the number. Then once you get the number, you have the decision sign. It checks whether number is equal to 10. If the number is equal to 10 is true. So if the number is 10, then the number is equal to 10 message is printed. If false, it goes in the other way. So this is the flow chart for the above problem. So let's try to do the Python code. Solution. So number int input. If number is equal to 10, then you print with indentation the number is equal to 10. So you can see there's some kind of space. So that means print statement is inside the if block. And remember the colon after the if condition. And remember to indent the next line. Indentations are used in programming to make it easier to read, but in Python it actually affects the code's meaning. So in Python the indentation affects the code's meaning, so you have to be very careful with the indentation. So what is the final value in B? So you can attempt this example. A is equal to 3. If A double equals 3, then B equals A into 2. So just like that, you have various operations inside these if blocks. So you can get the answer. The other exercises also you can get the answer, and we will discuss the answers after that. So for the first one, the final value of B is 6. The third one, which are true if A is 3 and B is 4? If A is 3 and B is 4, the first statement is true because A is 3. So 3 plus 1 is less than or equal to B is 4. So you replace A with 3 and B with 4. So you can see these conditions value. First one, A is true, B is true, C is false. So opposite of the condition, flow greater than 30, flow less than or equal to 30. The opposite of the condition is if the upper bound is taken, then the lower bound plus the equal sign is the opposite. If score A equals score B, so it's a very important point. If you are comparing two values, you have to use double equal. If you use single equal, it's an error. Write a program. So next exercise, write a program to read someone's age. Display can vote if they are old enough. First create the flowchart, next write the program. Solution, write a program to read in someone's age. Display can vote if they are old enough. So read age. If age is greater than or equal to 18, if it's true, then display can vote, else nothing. So let's see the if-else statement. It has two outcomes. Get the program to do something if the statement is false. So this is the flowchart. Condition is true, it prints the true branch. If it's false, it's the false branch. Get the program to do something if the statement is false using else keyword. A equals int input. Get input from the console and convert it into an integer. So that's with the hash sign you have the comment. So get input from the console and convert it to an integer. So here we are getting the input from the console and convert it to an integer. So and assigning it to A. If A is equal to 10, print A is equal to 10. Else A is not equal to 10. So that is also the print statements are indented. So the last print statement, this is not in if or else block. So you can see it is not indented. So it prints the first message if the expression is true, otherwise prints the second message. So this is another example of if and else. We have discussed this in the previous session. So this one, write a program to display fail if the mark is less than 40, otherwise it should display pass. Create the flowchart and then write the code. So read the mark. If the mark is less than 40, true, then that means if it's less than 40, you have failed the module. So you have to display fail. If it's false, that means display pass. So if you look at the Python code, mark equals int input enter mark. So you get the mark as integer and you convert it to integer and you assign it to mark. Then you have the conditions, if conditions to check. So that is for selection, that is for decision making. If mark is less than 40, then you have to print fail. So you can notice the print statement is there with indentation. That means it is inside the if block. And next you have the else. that means pass. So you have two conditions here. If mark is less than 40, print fail, then the opposite side is the else. So in other words, that is greater than or equal to 40. So that is print pass. So you have to be very careful with the colon mark in front of the if statement and the else statement. You have the colon mark. So all the conditions are checked here. If it's less than 40, fail. If it's equal to 40 or greater than 40, that means the opposite of that, which is covered in the else statement, which is pass. So else if conditions, you have choice 1, 2, it goes to, you can have additional conditions with else if, elif. So choice 1, you have another condition, additional condition. If that is true, it goes to the next branch. If that is true, it goes to the branch. So elif allows you to give the program another condition to try. So you can have multiple conditions. If none of the conditions match, then run the else block, which is optional. So we assign C for the variable letter. If letter equals A, double equals A, that means if letter equals A, you have to print letter is A. Else elif letter equals B, that means you have another condition. You print letter is B. If none match, then run the else block. Print letter is L, not A or B. So elif example 2, you get an input from the console and you convert it to an integer and you assign it to variable A. If A is equal to 10, then print A is equal to 10. So you can use multiple elifs as well. So multiple additional conditions. So then you have another condition is if A is less than 10, you print A is less than 10. Another condition, A is greater than 10, you print A is greater than 10. And finally you have the else. This should never print because all the conditions are checked in above lines. The exact value 10 is checked. If it's less than 10 is checked. If it's greater than 10 is checked. That means all the values are checked. So the else statement will never get printed. So can use multiple elifs. Test conditions for the first match, only the first true branch runs, even if other conditions true. So only the first true branch will execute. So you have to be very careful with the logic. Only the first true branch. If A double equals 10, then it prints the statement A is equal to 10. The other branches will not be executed. Other branches will be executed if the first or the previous conditions are not fulfilled. So you can try this as check solution, question and solution. So amend the above to display a message for high mark 70 or above. Two options on the next slide. So just like previous examples, you retrieve the mark, then mark is greater than or equal to 40, then that means satisfactory results, else fail. So for upper bound, if mark is greater than or equal to 70, print exceptional results. So that is very bright student. If mark is greater than or equal to 40, print satisfactory results, else you have failed. And another solution, if mark is greater than or equal to 70, you print exceptional results. Then you have the elif mark. Else, if mark is greater than or 40, you print satisfactory results. You have to be very careful in order to have the proper grading which solution should be used. So there's a small trick here. First one has two if statements, next one has else if. So you know in else if, the else if part will be executed if the previous if condition is not fulfilled. If the previous if condition is fulfilled, the else if mark will not be executed. But in contrast, in option number 1, all the conditions are executed. So you can see in hash 1, the example 1, solution number 1, all the conditions are executed. If let's say there's a student with mark greater than 70, that means 80. If mark is greater than 70, yes, the condition is true, exceptional result is printed. And next, the mark is 80, that the mark that we have assigned. So 80 is greater than or equal to 40 also. So the satisfactory result message is also printed. So for that mark 80, exceptional result message is also printed and satisfactory result message is also printed. So which is not necessary, which is not our logic. Let's say you have 80 marks for your module mark. So you should get A grade. If A grade is also printed, and just like this in solution 1, B, C, D, all the grades are printed. So that is not logical. If it's greater than 70, if you have A is printed. If greater than 40, if you have a simple pass is printed. The A grade and the simple pass both printed, which is unnecessary, which is the logic is wrong. So if you have two if conditions, the first solution will print something which is not necessary, which is wrong. But in contrast, the second solution, if the mark is greater than or 70, the first print statement is executed, print exceptional result. If this condition is satisfied, the other conditions are not taken into consideration. The else if part will not be executed. So the answer, the option 1 is incorrect. A mark of 72 will display both exceptional results and satisfactory results. Option 2 with else if is the correct one. So you can try out these examples and see. So if you the theory for else if test conditions for the first match, only the first true branch runs. Even if other conditions are true, only the first true branch runs. So if you apply that rule here to option number 2, only the first true branch will run. So that means if mark is greater than or equal to 70, that is true, the print exceptional result branch is executed. Only the first true branch is executed. So other branch, the else ifs are not executed. So we will get only the exceptional result as the output, which is the expected output. If you get all, that is wrong. So you are getting all in the first example. So option 1 is incorrect. The mark of 72 will display both exceptional result and satisfactory result. Option 2 with elif is the correct one. So the summary so far, flowcharts are made up of elements for tasks, input, output and decisions. The difference between if else and adding additional conditions with elif. So the relation operators less than or equal, greater than or equal, double equal and not equal. So note, you may have used switch case statement in other programming languages, but Python does not have a switch statement. Python does not have a switch statement. So in next section we'll discuss and or more. So the Boolean operators. Evaluate two expressions. Evaluates true or true if both the values are true. So x equals 10, y equals 20. Print x double equal 10 and y double equal 20. True. So you have the truth table A and B. True and true, which is true. True and false, which is false. False and true, which is false. False and false again, which is false. So that is A and B. So we have the Boolean AND example. X. Enter a number between 1 and 100. If x is greater than or equal to 1 and x is less than or equal to 100, we have print valid number, else your number is not valid. So for Boolean expressions, we'll have another lecture, so which is next, so stay tuned for that.